Sorry I'm late, you guys. I literally forgot to turn on the Wi-Fi, and I just pressed go live, and of course, it only lasted a few seconds. So, we are back, aren't we? Yes. So, Naomi is getting her teeth on the bottom. She's like cutting them today, so I don't know how long she's going to last here, but we'll let her hang out with us until she doesn't want to be here anymore. She wants to get after the food. That's what it's after there. Say hi. Say hi. There you are. All right, tonight we're going to be making chicken fajita casserole. It's super easy. It's a one bake, one dish sort of meal. It's great. If you're not grain free, you can totally add chips to this or have it in tortillas or any of the above if you're not on GAPS. If you're grain free, you can make my keto wraps, which is in this cookbook here. And I have something to talk about the cookbook. So I sold my last cookbook today, and I am going to be switching publishers, which means I'm going to be out of cookbooks for a while. The reason why I'm switching publishers is because my publisher is in Canada, and not only have printing costs gone up, but so has shipping. It's crazy. And so basically I would be getting them printed and just be passing them to you, or I have to raise my prices. And I really don't want to raise my prices because everyone's having a hard time right now with money, and so I don't want to make my cookbook more expensive. So what we're going to doing is we're switching publishers. I found one that's in Nebraska that does cookbooks, and it's going to be going to a plastic coil on the end, which I'm not in love with. But for some reason, and this is one of the reasons why I went to Canada for my cookbook, you can't really find the metal coils in America. It's all plastic, or it's a like a regular binded soft cover book. And I don't want the soft cover book because it's not going to lay flat when you cook. So we're going to have going with the plastic coil. But the good news is that the price on my cookbook should be coming down. I won't exactly know how much until obviously I pay for all of the cookbooks to be printed. And I am seriously considering adding some more recipes and doing like a number 2. So I'd have all of these recipes plus some more, because we've done a ton of cooking together since I published that. And I would like for some of those recipes to be in there for my kids. So we'll just have to see how it turns out. What? Yeah. Anyway, so that's the news on the cookbook. So I'm completely sold out at the moment. As soon as I get all the files transferred over and all the recipes transferred over and go through the editing process and all of that, I will let you guys know on a price. And we might even do like a deal for like the first however many books that are sold. So stay tuned. If you've been holding out on buying my cookbook, there might be a really good deal coming your way. So I like the idea of being able to drop my price so that more people who couldn't pay the money before would be able to have my cookbook in their hands, because that's kind of the purpose of having a cookbook, is not necessarily being a millionaire, but just being able to get it out to as many people as you can. So I'm going to go turn this light on above me because it's a little dark in here, and we're going to get started. I also want to mention that down in the description box is our recipe of the week if you're interested. It's only $3. It's an instant download to your phone or computer. And this week is chicken chili reno casserole. So it's like a Mexican type casserole. It's very similar to the one we're making tonight, but different obviously. So it's grain-free, gluten-free, and can be GAPS. So that link is down below if you're interested in the instant download. Are you ready to make some food? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. How are we going to angle the camera down with you in my hand, do you know? I don't know either. I don't know either. Let's give it a shot, one-handed. Here we go. Oh, here, you want to hang on to her for a second? Or just take her in general? That's fine. All right, so this recipe is going to be a just like throw-and-go bake thing. It's pretty darn cool. I also wanted to give out a tip, which is we just found out that if you dilute vanilla extract and water 50-50, okay, put it in a squirt bottle and cover yourself in it, the nasty apocalyptic type swarm of mosquitoes actually don't touch you. So I'm looking forward to that because it's been nuts here. We're going to go ahead and preheat the oven at 350 degrees. And this is like a super quick meal because I have stuff diced already. So I did that not because I don't want to dice with you guys, but because Naomi is teething. I'm not exactly sure how long she's going to last. So we're going to lard up our pan here. This is a 9x13 baking dish. If there's only one of you or two of you, you're probably going to want to go down to about half of everything on these ingredients. And would it help if I wash my dish I have to use? Hang on 1 second, you guys. I'm excited about the cookbooks going down in price myself because that means that other people can buy them as gifts even, which is super cool. There's no better gift than a nutrient-dense cookbook, right? All right, so we've got that heating on up. I'm going to wash my utensil here. Hope you guys are all doing okay tonight. I'm a little tired, but only because I spent part of my day crawling around on hay bales and messing with the mold, unfortunately. All right, so we're going to turn this skillet on over medium heat. And we're going to put some lard into the pan. I'm not going to use all of this, but probably like a tablespoon. We're going to let it melt, and then we're going to add our ingredients. Tonight I'm going to be using my homemade cream cheese. This is from goat milk, so it's called Chev, but you can use regular cream cheese for yours. It all works the same. So what I'm going to do, while we're waiting for that to preheat, we got this 9x13 pan right here. We're going to go ahead and put 5 cups of cooked chicken. Now, if you don't have cooked chicken, you can dice raw chicken up and saute it with the other items we're going to put into the skillet. But I always store mine already cooked and diced, so it's just a quick meal. That's 5 cups of cooked chicken. Okay. Into the skillet is what all this is going to go right on into there. This is 1 whole white onion. You could do half if you don't like onions, but we love onions. So 1 whole white onion diced, 1 red bell pepper diced, and 1 green bell pepper diced. You don't have to do red and green. If you want to do orange and purple and whatever, you can do whatever you want, but 2 bell peppers are diced. So we're going to put that into the pan. That's going to start sauteing. So again, this is 5 cups of chicken that's already cooked, but if you had raw chicken, you'd be sticking it into this pan over here for a nice good saute. I had one of the burners go out on my stove here, so I'm going to like kind of look into how to fix that. I was watching a video today. It doesn't look too hard, but we'll see. I might take it on just because I'm kind of crazy that way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and season up the chicken real quick while we're waiting for this to saute. We need 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. This recipe is inside my cookbook and will remain in my cookbook. Some of the ones that I want to like put into the new edition of my cookbook are like Grandma's Pickles. That one wasn't in the original. I forgot about all the other ones. Oh, like choke cherry jam. That recipe's up here on the channel, but it's not in a hard form for my kids. And it's something that we enjoy. So I just want to make sure that they get it. All right. So we have taco seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons to this chicken. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it. It's all going to get mixed up anyway, but you don't want to really have like a hot spot somewhere. We were supposed to get rain today, but we didn't, which was good because we uncovered all the hay climbing through the mess outside. All right, so it's 2 tablespoons. This is a half a tablespoon thing. So 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. All right, next ingredient is 2 cups of cheddar cheese that's already been shredded. So this is the Romano brand organic cheddar cheese that is not raw from Azure. When I first started my health journey, I bought all of our cheese raw. And then I realized that I was paying too much money for raw cheese that I'm just about to bake. So don't do that if you're just starting out. But Azure Standard is where I get all of my cheese except for the stuff I make here at the farm. I enjoy their prices. They're really, really great. If you've never ordered from Azure Standard before, I do have videos up here on the channel, and I have a link down below. If you use that link to make your first order, you'll get a share code that you can share with your friends. And when they make their first order of $100, then you get $25 off your order. So check that out. This is just starting to get warm enough to start sizzling. I love the smell of peppers and onions. I don't know why. Like sauteing, it's just like, oh, maybe because of steak. Steak is really good with onions and peppers on it. I'm not exactly sure. So we were supposed to go down the road and check the chokecherry bushes for chokecherries yesterday. Forgot. So maybe tonight after the last cooking class, we'll just have to see. They weren't quite ripe when I went by the bush several times on Saturday, so I'm guessing they're about right now. We'll see, but I usually make my chokecherry jam out of them. If you guys don't know how to do that, I do have a video here on the channel on how to do it. A lot of people make chokecherry jelly, and it has a ton of sugar. So mine has 5 times less sugar than the regular recipe. But now is the time because my birthday is next week, and so last year it was like the day before my birthday when we went to go harvest them, but it seems like all of the berries in the area are kind of like ripening sooner this year. I'm not sure what's up with that. I don't know if it's the rain or what, but seems like they are ripening. Another note on this recipe is you could totally skip this step if you're okay with crunchy onions and crunchy green peppers and crunchy red peppers. But if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know that my husband is not fitting into that category and is not okay with crunchy onions. So the rest of us would love it just right into the casserole. But not my husband. So honey, if you're watching, this saute is for you. I don't think he's watching. He's probably still at work. I'm excited to go back and work with the cookbook, but also kind of dreading it because it's such a busy time right now on the farm. I've got so many areas of my life that have been neglected for so long that I don't look forward to it. But I also would like to get it done because it does take a few weeks for them to print it. And I'm just so happy they're so close. I asked them how much shipping was going to be to my location, and of course they couldn't tell me because it depends on how heavy my books are. But I'm going to weigh it out because I might just drive. It's just right down in Nebraska. We'll have to see. All right. So the next ingredient is 2 cups of diced tomatoes with green chilies. Now, sometimes it's hard to find diced tomatoes with green chilies organic. So if you're going for organic, just buy like a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes and then grab a smaller can of organic green chilies and just mix the two. Totally works out fine. In my case, I made up some Rotel this last year when I was pregnant, and I had a bunch of tomatoes, too many tomatoes to do something with. I mean, they were just stacking on up. I decided to can up some Rotel. So this is tomatoes, and it has some hot peppers in it. I'm not really sure it has green chilies, but the point is you're going to get some spice. So you need 2 cups. This is a whole quart. So I'm just going to be using half of this. As soon as I find a spoon. Here we go. Somebody remembered to start the dishwasher. That's great. So you could buy, if you're not doing organic, you could totally buy Rotel. Just make sure you read the ingredients. It used to be an okay product a couple years ago, but not sure about now. I'm just going to drain a little bit of liquid in there, and we got big old chunks of tomatoes. You could also do fresh tomatoes in this and just add green chilies. I think it's going to be spicy enough. I was going to add like a jar of green chilies if I didn't think so, but I think it's going to be. So we're just going to, I don't want to burn everyone's taste buds off. I love spice, but the kids don't. So add just a little bit more lard. Anyway, those recipe of the week links down below are recipes that are not here on the channel that I don't plan on putting on the channel. So that's what kind of makes them special. If we're not into recipe of the week, I'm probably just going to stop doing it because it does take some time. Oh, and Sharon, your kefir grains went out yesterday. So I finally got to town. So they should be coming like probably Friday. We'll have to see. Okay, so the next ingredient into the 9x13 pan is 1 whole pound of cream cheese. I also sold another cookbook, but I don't remember your name. If you're watching, yours is on the way. And then there's one person that ordered it late last night. You actually got the last cookbook in the house for a while. And that will be mailed out tomorrow. So, hey, you guys. All right. Shad, are you new? Because I feel like I recognize your last name, but I don't know from where. And no, it's not from a tractor. I'm just going to give this a good mix. You guys could totally do this in a bowl too, but there's no need to dirty more dishes than what are already existing. There we go. Oh, Jessica. Yes. Okay, now I know who you are. I'm like, I know that last name. Where do I know it from? Okay, I got it now. All right, so this is almost done sauteing. And like I said, this is a GAPS approved meal as long as you can handle a little bit of spice. If you can't, then just hold the spice on out and just do diced tomatoes. And if you're not GAPS and you don't mind grain, it would be totally delicious. Plopped on a plate with some corn chips. Like, talk about a really super easy meal for you. Okay, so my onions are just starting to get brown and some of them are translucent. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer them into the pan here and we're going to give it a good mix. Ah, now I want steak. This is probably not a good scenario. It smells so good in here. All right. Jessica. Yeah, duh. Jessica. Kansas Jessica. Yeah, it's all coming to me now. If I end up driving down for my cookbooks, Jessica, I'm going to message you because I don't think you're too far from Kearney, Nebraska. It's kind of a longer drive for me, but I mean, literally shipping from Canada was going to be over $250. So anyway, we'll just see. We'll see how much shipping is. I know that they just informed me yesterday when I mailed out a cookbook and I asked for a stamp for Sharon's kefir grains. They're like, oh yeah, it's gone up to 73 cents now. And I'm like, wow. Wow. I'm going to have to bring back the Pony Express. It's just a letter, people. It's crazy. I got to make a special note of that because around here, we can get our stamps, like just by putting change down to the mailbox. So, all right. So now all of them are in here. We're just going to give it a good stir, and the oven is almost preheated at 350 degrees. I was very skeptical about the vanilla extract actually working for mosquitoes, but it totally does. And I don't know why. But if it works, hey, that's cool. I am O blood, so I get eaten alive, and 2 of the kids are O blood with me. Well, really everyone's getting eaten alive this year. They're just horrible. But they didn't touch us. We went out to stack hay. hay and stacked firewood today. And we had to reapply because we were sweating. But you have to do that with any natural one, you know? So, okay, so there we go. And then we have salt. This is healthy salt, just in case you're new. So this is colored salt. You want colored salt because those are the minerals that your body needs in order to handle salt the proper way. If you use table salt, they've actually just essentially stripped out all the minerals that your body needs and then sold it to you anyway. So you want, if you're going to pay money for salt, make sure it has color in it. It can be Celtic sea salt that's like a grayish color. Just make sure you've got some sort of color. And I'm just going to salt it on up. And the kids will probably add more salt to taste. There we go. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And I'm going to check comments. There it is. It's already preheated. That was perfect timing. Ooh, you guys are sideways. Hang on. It was so funny that I just like got on my phone and pushed live without the Wi-Fi being on. And I was like, why isn't it working? I don't understand why it's not working. Yeah. Okay, so Jessica says, yum, making my mouth water. Shad hates onions. Yeah, so I would do like onion powder instead, unless you won't put up with that. My funny story is when I was first married and I was cooking, my husband finally came out with it that he didn't like onions. And my heart broke because like all of my recipes have onions in them. What are you going to make that doesn't have onions in them? And so I decided that I would agree to cut out all the onions out of my recipes. But instead of cutting them out, I just switched over to onion powder. And I don't remember what we were eating, but it was like potato salad or something like you have to eat and it has to have the onion in order for it to be good, you know? And he's like, oh man, this is just so much better without the onion. Like he was just, oh man, this is just the best, whatever it was. We'll say it was potato salad. Best potato salad I've ever had in my life, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, really? Okay. So then I started feeling kind of guilty because he was just enjoying it so much. And so I said, well, it actually still has onion in it. He's like, it does? And I was like, yeah, it has onion powder in it. And he's like, oh. And so then I had to tell him, well, it wasn't the actual onion taste you don't like. You just don't like the crunch when they're not cooked. Okay. Jessica says, is your cream cheese farmer's cheese? Use lemon juice. So, no, my cream cheese is Chev. It's made with goat cheese, or goat milk, I mean. And so you actually have to, like, you culture it, and then you put rennet in it. It doesn't take very long. I mean, this takes overnight. And then you just hang it and it drips. It's super, super easy. I've never made anything with lemon juice though, but I know that I think I own a cheese book that talks about like the old way to make cheese that doesn't need rennet and doesn't need like boosting cultures and stuff. I've just never done that because I just started last year making cheeses. I'd like to get into making hard cheeses though, so we'll just have to see. We'll see what happens with that. Jessica says, hates onions, cucumbers, mushrooms. It's the crunch that gets him. However, he loves onion rings. Onion rings are crunchy. That's silly. See, I love onions. I even love like bloomin' onions. Like I used to eat out when I used to eat out and actually enjoy eating out at the Outback Steakhouse, you know, and they would like deep fat fry one. I'd eat like over half one of those just on my own. I just sit there and eat them, and those sometimes are crunchy, which I thought was kind of gross. Because the one time I ate them, I was like, oh man, this is like a little bit too crunchy. But for the most part, I enjoyed those because they're a little spicy, and then they have that little dip. And I actually have made those at home before when we had a fryer. And they turned out really, really good. I made the dip too. If you get on like Pinterest and type in, you know, Outback Steakhouse onion dip or whatever it's called, bloomin' onion dip. It's just like mayonnaise and some spices. And so it's actually super easy to make, and you just stir it and dip your onion in it. So it's actually quite good. So tonight we're going to be having the casserole we just made and then steamed vegetables, of course, to go on the side. But like I said, if we were not gaps, this meal is crying for for some sort of carb, like corn chips, or in a wrap. And then you could even like fry the wrap, like cook it so it gets crunchy on the one side, like a Crunch Wrap Supreme. That would be really, really good. If you can't tell, I'm craving crunchy right now. I did invent a new recipe. It's called Mexican coleslaw, and it's on next month's rotation. And Jessica, you should. It's only like, what, 8 hours? Breakfast. You could come for breakfast. Anyway, this Mexican coleslaw is really good. So that'll be an August meal live here on the channel. It's super good. And then we were eating it like twice a week for a while when it was hot here. It was just so good. But even that one, it has, of course, cabbage in it because it's coleslaw. But like just the crunchiness of the cabbage, it was like, oh, you could almost pretend like this is a chip, even though it's not. So that was really good. So you guys can look forward to that. That'll be coming in June. Let's see what else is happening. Let's see, baby's teething. Just got broth going again. This little roaster is kind of a mess over here. That roaster right there needs to be what's it called? Filtered. It needs to be filtered. And that broth, we're gonna drink some of it with dinner as well. But we got broth almost always going here because we're doing the GAPS diet. So lots of broth. And it's too hot to have soup right now. I was going to get on, I'm a Pinterest girl, so I was going to get on Pinterest and look up like summer soups, but I don't think there's anything that's really a summer soup because it would have to be like iced or something, right? I mean, I don't know if I want to eat a hot soup during summer. So anyway, that's the cooking class. That was super easy, wasn't it? It's only been like less than 30 minutes. It's already baking. And like I said, that was 350 degrees, 30 to 35 minutes. So, unless somebody else has something else to talk about, just in case you're on and you weren't here in the beginning, I'm just going to say it one more time because there's 5 people on now. I am completely sold out of cookbooks. So, I am switching publishers to a publisher in the United States. It's going to take a while for me to get my cookbooks up and for sale again. But the cookbook is going to be coming back in a different way. So, if you've been holding out because you couldn't afford the cookbook, it was like a little over, it was like $31 with shipping. But if you couldn't afford the cookbook, this version should be cheaper. The reason why is because I'm not going to be paying $250 for shipping from Canada, but also this metal coil is going to be plastic, which I'm not in love with, but I am in love with the idea of being able to take a sum of money off of the cost of the books. So it'll have all of the recipes in here, and like I said, I was thinking about adding some more recipes because we've been cooking so long. It's been 2 years since I put this out. I don't know how you guys' cookbooks are looking, but mine's like looking pretty darn rough. We got tears, and I've got pages that are stuck together. So anyway, when the new ones come, I'm going to be upgrading because this one is definitely worn out. But anyway, so just in case you guys were looking for a cookbook, they will be coming. I just have to, like I said, I got a lot of computer work to do to get it transferred to the next publisher. And then probably at least a 2-week wait if they have other books that they're publishing. And then once I get the word that they are going to be shipped, I'm probably going to be doing a special on these. So keep your ears out. Okay, Jessica says, I love Pinterest. There's no summer soups. I know. Sharon says, thanks again, Crystal, for another great recipe. You take care. Hey, you too, Sharon. And we will see each other next week. I'm going to put a pre-scheduled event up for you guys, and we're going to make another awesome meal that could be GAPS or not. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for jumping on. I'll see you guys in the next one.